Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo estás? No, it's not a Spanish stream. I can't speak Spanish. As much as I feel like I should. I hope everyone's doing good. We got some first timers. Welcome. Should be a bit of fun today. It's Thursday. That's a good thing. Okay. Male model. I feel like he's going to be tricky. Let's see. Why do I think that? I don't know. I just have a feeling. We will start probably with a 15. Let's see. You know how the clock works in these streams. For those of you who are first timers here, we're pretty loose with the clock. I always have good intentions to, you know, keep on track, but we go down rabbit holes. Sound and visuals are good. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. No drawing for you today, huh, TK? All right. Working in the Dragon's Dogma character creator. Some kind of figure drawing, I guess. Dragon's Dogma character creator? That's new to me. Well, good luck with that. Cool. All right, let's get cracking. Yeah, as I said, we'll start with the 15. Let me start the timer. And welcome new members. You will find the reference. Wow, this got Irish real quick, didn't it? That's fine. Yeah, you'll find a link to the reference in the community tab part of on my channel. I need to learn to speak English. Okay, let's find the manubrium. It's going to be about here. Come down, sternum. I can just very lightly find where the arch of my rib cage is going to be. We always have to keep in mind, like, why do we have compression here? It's essentially where the rib cage and the pelvis are meeting, right, with the obliques in between. So, all right, let's find the asus here and here. Iliac crest is going to be going up this way. Inguinal ligament coming down. Something like so. He doesn't have a single supporting leg. I would say both legs are supporting equally, so we'll just get these in. So this one's coming very, very slightly towards us, kind of like this. And this one's kind of going slightly away from us. And it's following this rhythmical idea, isn't it? Boom. And then coming down like so. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if it's quite going away from us. It's almost. Something like that. Hey Rick, happy birthday. Very happy birthday to you. I hope it's a wonderful day. It's Rick's birthday, everyone. Okay, manubrium's here. Clavicle. Let's figure out what we're going to do with these arms because they are coming across the form. Head of the humerus is going to be about here. And as you can see, this arm is kind of above, obviously above the manubrium and the rib cage, kind of coming out this way. And then kind of going away from us. Something like that. This arm, clavicle's coming up this way. And this arm is about, actually coming slightly towards us, right? Like this. Going like that, holding this sword, which is going back in space. But we won't draw the sword. We'll just indicate it. Let's see the sternocleidomastoid sitting here. Head is about here. Eye line going ever so slightly away from us, something like that. That'll do for now. Navel. Let's get that in halfway between the bottom of the rib cage and the top of the iliac crest, and then we can find our contour lines coming down this way, start to get a idea of how this form is separated. Cool. Okay, it's going to be coming down like this. Quite a bit of stretch on this side. Very, very lean guy, so we're not really seeing the oblique there. It's coming down something like that. Pectoral. Now this arm, obviously going up, pectoral is pulling down this way. Almost got this kind of shape going on with it. Pectoral coming across the humerus on this side, and then pulling down. Something like that. We've got the mass of the latissimus sitting in there, deltoid there. The clavicle's peeking out here. We'll suggest that a little more in a minute. Deltoid. Elbows about here. Tricep sitting in there. Coming into the forearm. Sitting about there. Bicep is sitting in here. Latissimus pulling down this way, attaching up here, and we can see the tricep kind of sitting in here. Alright, and my deltoid sitting on top here. Something like that. Okay. Something like so. So, ACES is here. As I said earlier, iliac crest is going up this way, and we can see the oblique sitting on here, but the guy's so lean, there's just no fat. I think this model pack is something called like sinewy guy or something like that, which I guess that kind of is apt. He is wearing trunks, for those of you who can't see the reference. I'm going to suggest them. They're kind of sitting in here, coming across this way, sitting at the ACES, which they tend to do. It's why it's called the belt line. And then this one is obviously coming towards us, maybe something like that. Okay. Okay, inner thigh. Coming down, meeting up with the quadricep, and then coming down to the knee system. Tibia. Coming down this way. Outer calf always feels like it has a higher attachment point than the inner. It gives us a nice chance to overlap forms too. I don't want vocals. Stop. I thought I turned them off. I find vocals distracting when I'm drawing. Okay, something like that. You guys can't even see the foot. Let's pretend there's a foot there. Okay. got the sartorius that will be coming down, connecting to this line of the knee right here. So we've got our subdivider. We'll have the same on the other side, although it really doesn't exhibit itself too much. It's good to draw though. Okay. And we got the hamstring sitting there. Okay. Donna says, Richard, do you find lean models or muscular models more enjoyable, fun, or challenging to draw? It's a good question. Generally speaking, lean tends to come with muscle. Like this guy, he's lean, but he's clearly athletic, right? He's clearly muscular. To be honest with you, I'm not crazy about drawing bodybuilder levels of muscular. I like, you know, athletic gymnast levels of muscularity. Something about drawing people that like really go crazy, you know, I say go crazy, you know, really have a lot of muscle mass. They actually tend to be quite difficult to make graceful, if that makes sense. And that's probably just a shortfall on my part, obviously not their fault. You know, just generally, just by virtue of being more muscular, they tend to be quite blocky. And it's not that you can't find interesting shapes in there, of course you can. But their poses tend to be more blocky. It's not just the fact that there's the muscle, right? I don't know, it's an interesting one. I like drawing all body types for the most part. You know, I love drawing heavier people too. Can be like, I find that the design language opportunities with heavier people are completely a different kind of set of ideas than you know, with muscular models, obviously. But really, sometimes some of the most intriguing kind of shape language ideas can come from heavier models. The models I find least interesting to draw, and you do tend, obviously I can curate the models for this really to draw what appeals to me, but the models I find least interesting to draw are those that are neither muscular or heavy, you know, just sedentary people. Like, you know, even if there's a little bit of fat, great, we've got something to work with. But kind of leanish people, but they're just kind of soft lean, tends to be tough to find interesting ideas, or it's more of a challenge. Let's just put it that way. All right, so the bicep is starting about here, coming up. As I've mentioned in previous streams, I do wish that these reference studios, suppliers, had more of a library of varied size models, older models. I'd love to draw more older models. I don't know why. You know, you'll find 1,000 reference packs of athletes and people in a certain kind of age bracket. But trying to find mature models is just really tricky. I need coffee. I find bodybuilder type of form difficult to draw, says Donna. You're right, they're very blocky. I don't even care to use them, honestly, for teaching anatomy. Like, you can, to some degree, because obviously the muscle is very exposed, very clear. But then again, once again, because of that exaggeration, it can tend to distort ideas just ever so slightly. Yeah, it's interesting, you know? Where am I at? 14 minutes already. Well, welcome to the stream of ambiguous clock time. Anyway, I'm enjoying drawing this pose, so I'm going to keep going for a few. Hope that's all right with you guys. Now there's a lot of abdominal action going on with this guy. And it kind of, for me, it falls into the same category as ribs, which is less tends to be more. That's a generalization, but they can just get super distracting. Same thing here, you know, we've got a little bit of serratus going on in here and a little bit of rib action, but I'm very hesitant to go too crazy with it. All right. I think maybe a few more minutes, a couple more minutes will be on this one. All right. Now, obviously, once again, we have a situation where, funny, a lot of the male models tend to wear shorts. Interesting. We have a situation, though, where the shorts are kind of obscuring a little bit of how our legs are connecting. So we're going to have to just kind of use our understanding of what's going on there to fill in the gaps, if that makes sense. Okay. I will certainly, with some of these poses, not be drawing the entire form. I do want to focus in on some particular anatomy things, but I would suggest that you do whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's just clarify these shorts a little more. Okay, something like that. All right, I'm gonna call it there. Happy enough with that. Cool. At least we're a speedo dude, not so tighty-whities aren't cutting it. I've asked myself that same question for every single one of these male models. It's like, why aren't they required to wear, if they're gonna be covered, which is fine, but wear a speedo, something like that, right? What's with the shorts? It's like, very good point. Excuse me. Okay. Is it New Year's? Zara, you're in where? You're in Iran, yeah? This is the first day of a new year in Iran. Happy Nowruz. Nowruz? Am I ever pronouncing that correctly? I apologize if I'm not. Nowruz. To all Persians. Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy Nowruz. All right. I had no idea it was your new year. Apologies. I really need to be more cultured. Nice. Yeah, we're on Twitch as well. Please tell your Twitch friends. The following over there is frankly embarrassing. It'd be nice to build up the community on Twitch too. Okay, I'm going to reset the clock. This is going to be a bit of a challenging pose. Once again, as I said earlier, I'm probably going to focus on the upper torso and draw down to about his left knee-ish. Because there's a lot going on with the twist, the way we can see the back and the front there. This is quite a lot going on, so I'd really like to just try and focus on the one area of the anatomy. So let's do it. I'm going to say 15, but let's be real, probably going to be closer to 20. Let's just say 20. It's easier that way. All right. Let's find the shoulder line. Somewhere in there. You know how it works with these. It's a lot of just rough estimates put down initially. We'll tie it down eventually. Something like that. And then we got the pelvis tilting this way. Crazy pose. Like, the pose itself isn't that crazy, but it's the twist the guy's putting on it that really does bring it to a whole nother level. I'm going to find where the spine is very, very roughly. It's kind of going off in this direction, going around the form, because here we can see the front of the form. Center line is about here. Okay, this arm going off this way and down. And this arm coming across here. Something like that. All right. Can't see it, but we can get a hint that the oblique is sitting about here. coming around the form this way. The ACES is going to be about here and here. Tricky. This is going to be going down here. This is actually probably a bit larger. It's probably about here. Okay, that'll do me for now. I'm going to find a rough proximity for the rib cage here. It's going to be sitting in approximately here. You see, this guy's pretty muscular, isn't he? As lean as he is. Like, he doesn't look like he's more than about 5% body fat, but he's pretty athletic, all right. Head of the humerus is coming out to about here. We can really, guys, for those of you over the reference, look at this line that comes across here like this. The acromion process coming off the scapula, right, which we talk about so much. We're seeing it kind of in a new light here, creating that shelf-like effect for where the trapezius attaches in here. I like that. That's great. Okay. Scapula. Well, we know that the ridge of the scapula is here, right? Because the acromion process attached to it. It's coming out this way. And it's sitting very roughly about here. This one is pushed further out and kind of something like that from the perspective we're at. It's a puzzle. Drawings like this are a puzzle, and it's just about trying to get down the things that you're more sure of, and hopefully that will inform the things that you're less sure of, if that makes sense. So we know that the latissimus is coming down, kind of sitting in here. We've got teres minor and teres major, the two of the muscles of the scapula, two of the four muscles of the scapula, kind of revealing themselves in this region and this region. But we won't get, it helps to understand to some degree, just so that we can, we can understand what it is that we're looking at. But I wouldn't get bent out of shape trying to learn all the names. That's going to be roughly there. He's actually, can't see it, he's holding a sword. It's coming down this way, which is something like that. Place your bets. Will be 15 minutes or 25 minutes for the next pose. This one could be a 25. That's a good point. Hey Tina, really appreciate that you alternate male and female models. Would also love an occasional heavier model. Tina, we were literally just talking about that. I have very little in the way of heavier models. Unfortunately, I've got like 2 or 3, and I try and rotate them when I can, but like it kind of, I try and keep bringing new models not each week, but as often as I can, and I have so few heavy models. But I do have one actually, a female, heavier female that we haven't drawn in a while. I'll put that on the list for next week, okay? In fact, it might be 2 female models next week, because I do want to revisit the model from Tuesday, from Monday, next Monday. We're going to draw her again, because she had some very, very interesting ideas going on. You can see the latissimus kind of cutting across the form here, right? Doing that. You can actually see the trapezius too, kind of coming from here, from the ridge of the scapula, and snaking its way across to the spine there. Fascinating. And actually, if you look at the topography of the rib cage, we've kind of got this kind of thing going on, right? As the ribs go down the form. Don't want to draw too many of them. There's a lot of detail going on, a lot of information on the model in this area. We really do want to try and resist the temptation to get into a copying frenzy. Tough. Okay, but we're getting there. We're getting down the large landmarks are appearing slowly but surely. Deltoid. Sorry, I'm just taking a minute now just to gather my thoughts. I think oblique, so iliac crest is actually here. The leg is sitting about there. Okay, yeah, crazy. There's a little bum like that. Sartorius. This is such an awkward twist, isn't it? It's great. Cool. I think I want to get into it because there's just a lot that I need to clarify. The pub music is a vibe. Is it pub music there, Lulu? Let's see, Dana, if I can bring it to life quickly. It may or may not happen. I think I can. I hope I can. Yeah, it's not enough heavier model reference. Camille, I use smooth newsprint for all of my figure drawing. I've yet to find something that's better, at least for me and my style and all of that. It's just about the cheapest paper that you can buy. It's non-archival, which is unfortunate. But it's very smooth, and I consider it a fast paper. So yeah, you should be able to, like, as far as you'll definitely find it, you know, well, I say definitely, I shouldn't say definitely. You'll find it at some art supply stores. You'll find it at school supply places. You know, because it's just cheap craft paper that kids use. So yeah, nothing fancy. I don't like fancy paper. And moleskin sketchbooks scare the hell out of me. That's way too much commitment, in my mind. Way too much potential to wreck a perfectly good moleskin drawing with, or moleskin sketchbook with one bad drawing. Just can't do it. It's a lovely shape to this bicep that I'm sure I'm not doing justice, but something like that. Got some nice tricep ideas in here too. This deltoid sitting in here. Gonna have to come back to that. That's all just a bit of a mess right now. I'll come back to it because I think it's going to benefit from a little bit of tone. And I think there's more important things to deal with the drawing right now. Okay. Find this trapezius. It's not often that you see a chromium process so abruptly visual in a blocky way like that. Okay, so deltoid, you can see it reveal itself about here, come down, and kind of sit in there, right? Something like that. We got the pinch of the tricep there. Hopefully this will all make sense when it's all said and done. Okay. It's such a complex area, you know? And you've got this arm and obviously the abdominal wall and the rib cage and all of that right next to each other, and I'm not sure if I'm going to show the separation. There's a small gap between the end of the arm and the you know, the front wall of the abdominal wall there. I may leave it as a single idea because once again it comes back down to how is it going to read. I think it might be to everyone's benefit if it's left alone. Something like that. Navel is sitting in here and then kind of connecting with that, and then that becomes our center line, right, that we drew right at the beginning. And once again, he does have these trunks on, which are kind of coming across the form this way, down to about here, and then across. And then they're sitting up high on the thigh, on the left leg. So kind of a crease coming down this way and going across there. Something like that. Yeah. Well, we're at 20 minutes. Let's plan on another 5, huh? You were right. You could set a little betting pool on the side here. How long am I actually going to take? As I've said many times before, there's just inherently a lot to kind of break down, make analysis of, and then try and bring to action with drawings like this. And it's just the reality of it, isn't it? And these shorts are down here. now. All right, let's just get in and give it a little bit of light and tone. I think it'll help it describe a few areas just very slightly. Now let's see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, Rick, the shorts are a problem. Those shorts are a problem. Zara says, personally, I prefer to draw from life, not pictures. That's fair. Look, there's absolute value to that, of course. Huge value to drawing from life. I recommend everyone do it. Excuse me. Truth be told, Sarah, not everyone has access to live models, be it geography or circumstance or whatever it might be, right? And so, you know, you make do. I also do strongly believe, while I'm a huge advocate for drawing from life, I do strongly believe that there is a value to drawing from reference that drawing from life can't bring you, which is simply the kind of poses that you have at your availability. Poses that a model just simply possibly couldn't hold for any decent amount of time, right? And that's just the reality of some poses, right? So I think there's a place, I think personally there's a place for both. You know, I like working from a live model too. It's a very different challenge, frankly. There's something about drawing from a model which you simply won't get from reference, but as I said, I think there's a lot you can get from reference that you can't necessarily get from a live model. Okay, I think just a little blend here and there, and I might call it with this one. We're at 26 minutes, so yeah, tricky pose. There's a lot of like really subtle half tone going on as well as his body turns in space, which would be kind of nice to get into, but just going to get really time consuming. Let's soften up some of these blends a little bit. And we can get some of that half tone in as we blend. Okay. Good exercise. I had a feeling, you know, today was just really about kind of just trying to push, really, not necessarily make a bunch of pretty drawings. Maybe that'll happen, but sometimes it's good to just kind of push through ideas and, you know, you don't always make pretty drawings when you're exploring. All right, I think I'm gonna call it there. Yeah, Lily, you can see the reference. All members can see the reference. Just if you want to join, then you'll be able to see the reference. Tough one. Yeah, good times. 30 minutes. Richard, it's possible to send our drawings for analyzing. You know, Zara, to be honest with you, that gets really time consuming, especially if everyone started sending their drawings, which people do. If you really want to get my feedback on a drawing and constructive criticism, you're more than welcome to book a session with me, and we can put aside some time where I can really go into it. But that's really kind of the way that it would make most sense. That way I could really give you my time properly. Sorry, I'm catching up with comments here. Yeah, too true, Lulu. Draw people on the street. Next pose is going to be a fun one. I should probably go landscape for this one. Hold on a second. Wow, you... Yeah, that was a tough one, Rick. You know, right? That twist in the torso, those are really hard. When you can see both the spine, which is obviously our center line for the back of the form, and you can see the center line of the front of the form, when there's that much twist in the torso, where those two meet, that takes some serious kind of analysis, you know. Wait till the Twitch chat pops off, the profanities will flow. Well, we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. There's got to be some, you know, I'm sure the Twitch folks are just fine. But it may be a little bit of a rowdier bunch than the YouTubers, huh? Cool, that's straight, right? That'll do. Okay. Quick sip of tea. We're here for the suffering, exactly, Lulu, you get it. How do you get the torso anatomy right? Asks Shukri. If you understand the large ideas between the upper and the lower torso, right? You've got two large forms, obviously the rib cage and the pelvis. First thing to do is to make an analysis of those two things and understand how they relate to each other, right? You're not always going to get that just looking at the model. That's where having a bit of anatomy understanding can really help right? Why do we get clothed model poses? Heather, you get clothed model poses because I have a very hard time finding new male models that don't have shorts on. And I have... Rick needs a beer. Rick, I think you should have a beer. It's your birthday. It's not by my design, Heather. I would much rather we were drawing models without, but they're few and far between. So that's why. Hope that helps. Is there value in redoing this drawing? Mine's a hot mess, says Tina. I usually just move on, but wondering if I should try again. Yeah, whether you try now or at a later date, if you know what I mean. It's up to you, but like, yeah, sure. I go back to poses, especially if I really am unhappy with what I did with them. I might not go back to them immediately, because sometimes I need to step away for a minute. But yeah, there's definitely value in that. Thank you, Lubushkuk. Appreciate it. You're very welcome. I'm glad it helps. Day drinking, yeah. Okay, let's do the next pose. Let me start the timer. I'm going to keep this one under 20 minutes, okay? Or at 20. 20 or less, because we're only on the third pose. And I think this kind of pose generally lends itself to more gestural type approach, right? All right, that's not the size the head's going to be going. I need to draw this. Okay, sorry guys. I almost never do this, but I just don't want to fight bad lines that are already on the page. I just drew too big. See, the beauty of working on newsprint. Throw a sheet away and not be upset with yourself. Now, if that was my moleskin sketchbook, I'd be crying in my day drinking beer. Okay, something like that. We have rib cage sitting in here. Sacrum's about here. Wrist is about there. This arm is obviously foreshortened, going away from us. Extra credit for drawing the person throwing him, Rick. I'm not drawing the person that's throwing him. Jai, didn't know. Oh, you're coming from Twitch. Awesome. Yes, thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, let's do this. Rick, if you're going to abort the drawing, you only get a pass because it's your birthday. I don't know what the world's coming to, these young'uns. Okay, trapezius. We can see it quite clearly, which is very rare, right? Only on the leanest and most muscular of models do we tend to see this. But we normally draw it in because we know it to be there. Here we can actually see it. So it's a really nice thing to add to bring some visual interest. You can also see that thinning out of the trapezius up here. You can see this, the spine, C7, T1, all of those vertebrae in that region right here. And then this arm is coming down this way, this hand going away from us. Okay. Too much. You guys went too deep. Okay. His shorts are sitting around here. This leg is coming out this way, going away from us. Doing something like that. Once again, quite foreshortened. So we need to be mindful of our measurements here, because if you actually look, his knee is kind of relevant, you know, kind of where his hand is. So this knee is actually shorter The knee is probably about here. That's what I'm going to plan on. And then going down to the foot here, ankle. Even that is too much. It's probably about here. Right, relative measurement. I've kind of established that this is where I want his wrist, so I'm using that, and I'm going to imagine an imaginary line coming down to his ankle. It's probably about here. So I'm using that kind of measurement, right? Somewhere in there. All right, I said 20 minutes, didn't I? Okay, let's get cracking. Is about there, the ear is up here. Okay. Latissimus coming up this way. Kind of transitioning, sitting below the deltoid, which is obviously sitting in here. Tricep is sitting underneath, coming down to the elbow, and then we have our foreshortened forearm sitting in here. Okay. I'll probably pull this down a bit. Cool. Okay. Still a lot of refinement to do here, but I think that there's enough meat on the bone to work with. Okay. Then this leg, can't forget that. See that heel. Toes sitting here. And this is the calf coming down, sitting in there. Okay. You know, props to the model for allowing himself to be flung like this. Right, let's, this is a bit ridiculous through here. That's what refinement pass is for. Okay. Chromium process. You can really get a sense of the different heads of the deltoid sitting in here if you've got the reference kind of coming in like so. Fascinating. Bicep. This will hopefully come together. Okay. So we got the latissimus sitting in here, then latissimus and scapula sitting in there. This is higher. Okay, so abdominal coming down, oblique sitting in there. Once again, see the oblique rib cage, latissimus, scapula, and to the arm. Okay. Let's keep going here. Tricep. Sitting in here, coming down to the elbow. Deltoid. Coming up to the little bump of the clavicle there and meeting up beautifully with the trapezius sitting in there. Okay. Let's keep going. So it's sacrum. We do have some interesting kind of foreshortening going on, right? It's like more than you might think at first glance. All right. Where are we at? 19 minutes. I said, what did I say for this one? 20 or 15? I think I said 15, didn't I? What can I say? All right, I think I'm gonna close to calling it on this one. Yeah, I'm going to keep this diagrammatical. I'm not going to get into a light and tone pass on it. really feel I've spent too long on it. I'm going to call it there, I think. Feels like as good a place as any, right? Cool. Okay. Where are we at? 6:22 UK time. Oh, another twisty pose, guys. Although this is a standing pose. Theoretically, it should be a little bit more straightforward. I think given the amount of time we have, time to get strict on time, let's do a 15 on this one. You need to just tell me when I'm going over. Beware another torso twist. Yeah. Well, I picked them. I knew it was coming. In fact, I omitted a couple of torso twists from this pack. At one point I was looking at the poses I'd selected and pretty much everyone had a torso twist. And I was like, you know what? Let's get rid of that. Okay. Let's do it. Let me reset the cloak. 15, not a minute more. For reals. So we're at profile for the upper torso and almost front view. So we're going from that, and we can see that center line. Do that. Right, where he twists at the rib cage like oh, I don't know what, like right there anyway. So we know our rib cage is sitting in here. Actually, forget that line. Head of the humerus is all the way up here because he's also doing something quite, you know, different with his arm there. Elbow's about here. Something like that. That really lovely latissimus coming down the form. Sitting in this region and here would have very likely suggest that. It helps us subdivide. Okay. Asus is about here and here. And once again, we got real crazy twist. You can see the obliques kind of going around this S shape. Navel, something about there. Pectoral, kind of pulling this way almost. Yeah, head of humerus really is about there. Crazy. Okay. this going away from us. And this leg. Almost, there's a lovely kind of, almost like a rhythmical idea of this leg kind of coming towards us like this. Knee about there, tibia. Okay, we're getting there. Here, sitting there. Foreshortened forearm. Holding a pretty heavy stick. Something like that. We can just see this hand here. It's one case where I would draw that hand because I think it helps connect the idea of the stick. It's going to be sitting somewhere in there. Pectoral muscle. Sitting in this region here. We got serratus very clear through here. And coming down to the, obviously to the ribs and the muscles on top of them there. A lot of this detail is going to have to get fleshed out when I go to tight. Bicep sitting in there. Too repetitious. That's better. Heavy stick peddler, exactly. Thank you, hello friends. Appreciate it. Okay, scapula. It's going to be sitting in there. Yeah, I'm going to get into it here. Where do I want to start is the question. Kind of want to start on this side, I think. All right. Because there's a long line to this back. We want to try and capture the subtleties. That'll do it for now. These posters are too hard. You ruined my birthday. I'm sorry, Rick. Yeah, they're tough. There you are thinking, oh, you know, have a little birthday draw. That'll be fun. Now I got you drinking at, well, it's, what is it, 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon? That's acceptable where you are, right? You're East Coast, I believe, right? That's allowed. But yeah, these are tough. There's no doubt about it. Lovely kind of twist here on the abdominals. And the navel even feels twisted there. Oh, so I got this will be fun for you, Rick. This is a birthday treat. So the last drawing, and I would encourage as many of you that can to give this a go too. And let me just preface this by saying I'm not into teaching gimmicks. But this is not really a teaching exercise. This is more just for funsies. I'm going to do the last pose with my opposite hand. I'm going to try, if I remember, or if I'm feeling it, you know, at the end of a session. I'm going to try and do each last pose with my opposite hand. Many years ago, I thought it'd be fun to just try drawing with my right hand. Obviously I'm left-handed. And I did a single life drawing and it wasn't terrible. Like it wasn't fantastic or anything, but I remember thinking, yeah, you know what? I could maybe develop something here. And the idea being is, well, you know, I'm a left-hander living in a right-hand world. So 90% of what I do, I'm a right-hander. I play musical instruments right-handed, I kick a football with my right foot, I use right-handed scissors, etc., etc., right? Drawing is pretty much the only thing I do left-handed. So I think you know, there's probably a bit of ambidexterity there, like where there may not be if I was right-handed. But I'm kind of curious if developing my drawing with my right hand, I was kind of curious, you know, will I unlock something and level up? I don't know, I'm going to give it a go. So yeah, if you have the courage, I would say, join me on this. Look, the drawing will very, very likely be an absolute abject disaster. I do recognize that I'm setting myself up for a fall here. But I think it'll be fun. There's a this will probably not mean too much to too many of you, but there's a very famous snooker player called Ronnie O'Sullivan, and he is arguably considered to be the greatest of all time. I think he's like 48, 49 now, still absolutely just dominating the sport for the most part. But he can play snooker as well with his left hand as he can with his right. It's funny, he was saying, like, I was watching an interview with him, and he was like, yeah, there are some people that I'll play them, I will beat them with my other hand, like if he doesn't like them, or if he wants to kind of just dominate them extra, he'll win the tournament with the other hand. Actually, I thought was kind of funny, but I just thought, yeah, you know what, there could be something to it. Just see what happens by developing that. It's going to be super awkward, but it'd be a nice way to cap off this session, right, Rick? Definitely expect people celebrating their birthdays to join along. It's his tradition after all. And we've got 30 seconds to go. You know what? I think under the circumstances, I've kind of got the overall large idea here, which I'm kind of happy enough with, considering that was quite a complex pose. There's some serious disrespect, isn't it, Lulu? Yeah, that's why I like it. Like, it's just like, I have this much respect for you, I'm going to beat you with the opposite hand. It's not too bad, right? Yeah, sorry, I'm just going back here. Yeah, cheers, Rick. Yeah. I'm not drinking right now, but I will tilt a glass in your direction later, albeit with, you know, sparkling water or whatever. Okay, there's our 15. Yeah, right, Lulu. Agreed. Like I find I use my right hand for a lot of things when I tire with my left, and it's easy. You know, it's not a terrible transition. Well, in saying that, let's see what happens. Okay, so we've got 20 minutes and 2 drawings. You know how this goes. We'll do a 10 for this one and probably a 7 for the last. Full scribble mode never hurts. NC Art asks, how long does it take to master figure drawing? Well, there's a lot of trite answers to that question. But that is really, it really is kind of an impossible thing to answer, NC, other than if you're planning on doing it, plan on putting aside some time, right? The analogy I do like to use is, it's no different than, say, if you picked up the violin, right? What would you imagine your rate of progress to be on an instrument like that? It's like asking someone, how long does it take to master the violin? Imagine how many different things there are to consider in that question, right? And the same applies to mastering figure drawing. But in saying that, so 10 minutes for this one, I will say that I think that you can certainly start to feel somewhat, you know, I would say after I was going to say after about 6 months to a year, you're going to start feeling comfortable, but everyone's rate of development is different. For some people could make very rapid progress in that time, and others maybe not so much. But there's so many different factors. How much practice time do you have? How bad do you want it? You know, like, I do believe if I had someone come to me and say, look, just as a thought experiment, you know, time and money are no object. I want to see how good I can get in 6 months. If time was genuinely no object, I think you could make some serious progress in that amount of time. But it would require require a lot of energy. And it would require ongoing tuition and teacher feedback. Okay. Once again, we have the falling pose, almost the same falling pose, but from the push ease POV. So he is in mid-air. Maybe that was obvious, maybe not. But he is falling through space, so this is quite foreshortened arm. Actually, this wrist is up here, it's not down here. And so my torso is probably too long. Once again, the foreshortening is tripping me up here a little bit. Navel's probably about there. You know what, I can fix this on the fly, it's fine. Okay, pectoral muscle. Going all in, you can get stellar results. All right, I don't know who PewDiePie is, but I will take your word for it, Lulu. Don't think he had a dedicated teacher either. He's very disciplined and clear-minded. All right, good. Well, yeah, like Donna, that's kind of, Donna says, I find it mastering anything, especially art, it can take a lifetime because you're constantly learning new techniques. Exactly. Well, that's the other thing, right? There's it's a two-handed question. How long does it take to develop proficiency? I think is maybe the first question. Then it's how long does it take to master? Well, I don't know because I haven't mastered it. Right? I'm asking just as many questions as a beginner. The difference is my questions are different. But it doesn't mean that I cease to have questions. That's all that happens is the questions change. PewDiePie is one of the biggest faces on YouTube. How in some hell have you not stumbled across him? It'd be hard to do even if you tried. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know. I only found out recently that there's a person called Mr. Beast that apparently is one of the biggest people on YouTube, right? I've never seen one of the videos that they produce, but by all accounts, the person has done very well. It's great. You know, one thing I find with YouTube and the search algorithm, and I might be wrong here, but maybe you guys have found the same thing. If you don't look certain things up, they just simply won't show up on your feed. Like ever. So for example, I make a point of not looking up politics or things like that on YouTube. And they never even come up as a suggestion. I do get suggestions outside of fields that I'm interested in, don't get me wrong, but I think it would be it's actually, and I kind of respect, well, I don't know if it's a conscious thing, I'm imagining it is, because everything that YouTube does is conscious. But I appreciate the fact that it's not a platform that tries to prescribe any ideologies or push anything at me that I don't necessarily want to see, especially if I haven't searched for like-minded stuff. No, don't get me wrong, once you search for something, it'll go out of its way to try and find things somewhat related and you know, get you to subscribe and all of that. But yeah, that's my experience. Okay, this drawing is an abject disaster and I've got 1 minute left. And you know what? I don't even care. I think, you know, it comes back to this thing it's happened before on the stream, especially when we do challenging poses. I think I get tired, I get fatigue, and the quality of my drawing goes to absolute crap, which is what's happened here. And plus, it's not an easy pose, but that's no excuse. I'm not even going to try and salvage this. I will dutifully draw out the last 30 seconds and then move on like it never happened. Alright, there's our 10. Pity, that foot would have been fun to draw. But good lord, that's a bad drawing. I'm embarrassed. Yeah, I only know the name, but you know, that's. Well, now you know PewDiePie's existence. That is more than enough. Yes, to be honest with you, it's not. I don't know what they do. Maybe it's a good channel. I'm sure it is. Like, if they're that popular, right? It must be good. But I'm probably not going to check it out, to be honest. Don't know why the name makes me think it's probably not going to be aimed at me. Just a thought. Last pose, guys and gals. Okay, right-handed. I'm already regretting this. Alright, jeez, what am I thinking? Let's do it. 7 minutes. I need a sip of tea first. Yes, now, Lulu, I've definitely had many situations where, let's say, myself and my wife are talking about something in the kitchen, and the next time I'm on my phone scrolling something, I'll get ads for that thing. Absolutely. All right, you can tell I'm stalling, can't you? I'm afraid. All right, let's do this. 7 minutes. Let me start the timer. Wow. This was easier before. Okay, clavicle. Oh, this feels so foreign. I really should have done a practice drawing of this beforehand, before I open my big mouth. Okay. I feel drunk. Okay, that arm is going to go off screen there. Did I say I was going to do this every stream, yeah? Alright. Okay, pectoral. Even my thought process is like feels backwards somehow. Alright. Rib cage. Oh yeah. Yeah, too late for that, Lulu. Yeah, I probably should have done some, you know, the way you calibrate a Wacom. Should have probably done a recalibration. Anyway, I'm in now. Ah. Ear is about there. Wow. Oh, I wanted to put it in my other hand. Very, very strange alien feeling. Yeah, this is going to be a work in progress. You know what? think you could end up having some benefit from this. Not sure what it would be yet, but as I said, maybe it unlocks something. Jawline is about there. Nose is up here too. Okay. Yeah, crazy. I feel like I'm even just forgetting how to think here. Hold on, Lulu. Didn't you say this wouldn't be too bad? Or was that on the understanding of a warm-up drawing? Yeah, mad. Why is my hand drunk? It's like looking like a blind contour drawing. Yeah, I know the feeling. Oh, there's our 7. Probably. Oh, look at that. In the nick of time. Okay. Well, what can I say? I'm gonna do this more in the you know, as I said, all things being equal, at the end of each session, a right-handed drawing is probably not a bad idea. But that could not have gone much worse. So if you're just joining the stream, I am normally left-handed. Just for what it's worth, I feel like I have to say something here. All right, disaster. Bit of fun though, huh? There you go. We'll see if they improve over time. Look, you'd know generally what he was doing. Not going on autopilot, exactly. You know, also, Lulu, it brings up that point about... Let's get that off the screen, shall we? We've gone full circle on the music list, you may have noticed. It comes back to that point that we were talking about drawing models upside down, right? All of the things that you have built into your autopilot go out the window, and it's like trying to write backwards. You know, it's a really interesting phenomenon. That was fun, guys. The last one was a bit of a struggle, but we will persevere. We'll keep having a go with that. Yeah, it gave me a headache too, Lucas. That was rough. Bit of fun. Guys, that's it. It's Thursday. You can feel the weekend in the air. So whatever you may end up doing this weekend, have a wonderful break, and we will be back on Monday. We're going to revisit last Monday's model on Monday. And you know, we're going to be looking, we'll do a series of, we'll do some conventional poses, and we'll do a couple of those kind of down view poses, which I liked so much from that set. That was a lot of fun. Once again, Rick, happy birthday, mate. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend. I hope it's a weekend of birthday cheer for you. And wherever you may be and whatever you may get up to, take care of yourselves. I will see you all Monday, and yeah, good luck. Take care. Cheers.